We all can agree that Cobra Kai's dojo was amazing, right?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, just like ridiculous.
Yeah. Too cool.
Oh, I already thought of something.
Okay. All right. Here we go.
Shut up! You don't think Ryan is famous?
Cousin Ryan.
You gotta.
Hey, what's up, YouTube friends and family? It's Cousin Ryan.
PJ!
And we're going to do something different. I don't know why I almost stuttered there.
That wasn't
even almost stuttered.
No.
I don't know why I
You
stuttered
didn't say
there.
like you're going to do
Here's the thing.
something different. Remix.
Well, because I feel like I say that a lot. Like, hey, we're going to do something different. It's
all
really
right.
not that different, if we're being honest. It's
No.
not. We're going to try some snacks, and we're going to talk Cobra Kai. Season 5.
Massive spoiler alert. If you haven't
Massive.
seen season 5.
Massive.
Go to Netflix right now.
Watch it and then come back and talk to us.
I agree.
Because, yeah.
that's
Spoiler
why we're
alert
having
right
snacks.
now. I'm not...
These are Johnny snacks. Johnny would eat these. If
Johnny
Johnny
would.
was headed to Mexico with Robbie, which he was, he could have eaten these.
If he would have found these
Oh,
in the...
man.
Yeah, for sure. We've got Chipotle Ranch Pringles. Just found them at Walgreens tonight.
And I'm particularly psyched out of my mind for this one.
Hostess Crispy Minis. Now,
Here's
the caveat with
love
this,
of
though.
Oreos.
Ryder and I reviewed the strawberry shortcake ones.
Mm-hmm.
We may mention somewhere in there that I bought these for you to try.
Yeah.
But it's going to be out of whack because we're going to post this video first.
It's okay.
and not- anyway.
It's okay.
I don't think...
We have content coming out of
That's
our
right,
ears, friends.
man.
We're content creators.
And honestly, that's
how this
why,
works.
yeah, we've got a stack of snacks to review, and we're like, let's just combine everything right now while we talk about Cobra Kai.
Done.
So,
You can tell us your thoughts in the comments, by the way, as we partake of these things.
So, I'm going to just go out on a limb right now and say how much Season 1 is still my absolute favorite
I agree.
season. Just because, like you've mentioned, the origin.
I feel like it's hands down.
And getting reintroduced to all these characters after so long was amazing. I almost think Season 5 is the best season since Season 1.
Wow.
I think Season 2 is good.
These
Well,
are
they've
really
all been good, are they?
You're really good, guys.
I'm going to go with that first. Then.
Wow. I feel like we should go back and binge 1 through 5.
Okay, I'm in.
But I don't want to get caught up into recency bias. But I think I agree with you. You're good too.
Those are really good. These are a little bit spicy.
They are.
I think we're getting too distracted with the food. Like, we need to get to the point
This is
here.
great. I agree. They're better.
Okay. Just initially, spoiler free, we can agree that Cobra Kai as a series is really well written. As a legacy sequel series,
Very much so.
it is cheesy,
Yes.
but I say that with the utmost love and respect.
Yes.
And it's done. The cheesiness is just amazing. This season maintained that, but it didn't get corny.
No.
It did not
I agree.
get corny. They were able to maintain the cheese without getting like, okay, we're done.
Appropriately cheesy.
No, it was amazing.
And utterly nostalgic. Yet, continuing to make us love the new characters who now we've grown to love.
And bringing in some of the older characters. Mike Barnes shows up.
That was solid.
Another redemption story.
yeah.
He's a good guy now.
Yeah.
But
So tell me, who now is your favorite? Who's your favorite of like the new class of Cobra Kai? The
Like-
new characters.
I think the most of the new characters that has the most depth of character, Tori.
Ooh.
I think she's got the most.
I'm not going to say no to that. I don't disagree with that.
She's got the most compelling backstory because her mom is still sick. Samantha sees that at one point. You can tell Samantha's realization that, like, whoa,
Starts to feel compassion.
Tori's life kind of sucks. I'm gonna go with Tori for the new cast.
For me, it's Miguel. I just have a soft
I like
spot in my
Miguel.
heart for Miguel.
Yeah.
I like them all, but I like Miguel, and I do like Sam because I think it's somewhat. They've done a good job of letting you know, like, just because Sam is like rich and well off doesn't equal like satisfaction and happiness.
Right.
They've done
That's
a really good job
point.
with that. And just seeing her like mature and grow in the series, I've really appreciated.
I agree. Of the original cast that has returned, I really like Chosen. He's had the redemption from being just an absolute like not nice person. I was going to use another expletive,
Not very kind.
like a not appropriate for a Family Channel word, but
yeah, he's
really
really
totally good. Like you can tell
yeah.
he's
Totally
corrected
reformed.
himself. Like he's seen the error of his ways.
I agree. I also, you just feel for Johnny. You just like Johnny. And he continues to grow in the season a lot. Like just in his
Correct.
He's now a person who's like faithful, committed, hardworking, really cares about the kids.
So okay, now we're really gonna get into spoilerish.
No.
Carmen's pregnant. Johnny's girlfriend is pregnant,
Yep.
and that is a driving force for Johnny's transformation through like the second half of the season.
Oh yeah, totally.
Changes
outlook on life.
Yeah. Dude, and I'm totally blanking on the girl from Karate Kid 3.
Right.
What's her name? What's her
Don't
character
remember.
name?
She was great in Cobra Kai though.
Spoiler alert. She shows up in Cobra, and
does.
she's actually Amanda, Daniel's wife's cousin. Which
yeah.
I think is cool because that added an extra layer of story that they didn't even need to talk about. Clearly, if that's her cousin, if Amanda is her cousin, there's a backstory there that
Very
she
much
was
so.
like, "Hey, Daniel, you should really meet my cousin."
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
And just for the sake of story arc, here's how it went, in certain ways. So, it kind of opens up where it left off, and you can see that Daniel's like ultra consumed with trying to take care of Cobra Kai. Almost to the point where even me as a viewer is like, Daniel, like, you got chill, bro.
dude, you're off the rails.
You know,
right
like,
now.
a little bit.
Yeah.
And so, Amanda, like, totally sees that and is trying to encourage him, and she kind of starts to get sick of it appropriately, because he's kind of like ignoring the business, ignoring the family, and it ends up where he really, because of it, like, hurts a great opportunity for Amanda. Great opportunity for Amanda
that's
as it
right.
relates to, like, humanitarian work,
hold on.
business, but it's
That
because...
was totally Silver's doing.
It totally was. He was genius.
Silver is the biggest piece of crap in this show. Like, he is such a slime ball, so greasy.
I'm going out on a limb here. Better villain than Kreese. By far.
In many ways, yeah. I think they're gonna.
By far.
By the way the season ended, though, I think they're gonna bring Kreese back around and be like, no, Kreese really is the badass of the
Like,
show.
even with Kreese, they gave him some redeeming qualities by showing his background. All we know of Terry Silver is he's just an absolute jerk.
Right. Yeah, he was
Like-
a rich boy that
Exactly.
had no. Yeah.
Right, you know what I mean? Like, whereas Johnny, it's like you get his back, even Kreese get a backstory. This guy's just like, he just always had it. Do you think he'll be back?
Who?
Terry Silver.
Oh yeah, yeah. So I had asked you before we started filming this if you thought it was cheesy that they like reversed roles. Terry Silver gets arrested at the end of season 5,
Yeah.
and I'm like, well, Kreese got arrested at the end of season 5. Like, was that sort of?
Season 4.
Sorry, season 4. Thanks for correcting me, because that would have been really bad if we just kept talking. No, seriously though.
I agree.
At the end of season 4, Kreese got arrested, and then Silver gets arrested at the end of season 5. And you didn't think that was cheesy? That they...
No, because it's kind of expected. Like, you kind of figured that was going to come around, right? It had to happen.
And as bad as things get, Terry Silver either needs to be in jail or dead. That was the only two options there.
But so with the story arc, because of it, like...
These are really good.
Because of it, like, Daniel gets so out of line, and they don't recognize that it really is Terry Silver, like, pulling strings, pushing buttons, provoking, that, like, Amanda, like, takes the kids and she bounces.
To her cousins, who is Daniel's girlfriend.
And it definitely makes you feel like, dude, like, are we going to see, like, for the rest of the season, the separation, and hopefully at the end they get back together?
Right.
But while she goes and visits her family, her mom, and then her cousin in Cleveland, who's in Karate Kid 3, she really helps Amanda understand the kind of guy that Terry Crews is, and just the backstory of how much he abused Daniel.
Terry Silver.
Oh, right, Terry Crews. Office linebacker.
Yeah.
Thank you for helping me.
So
To the point to where it causes Amanda to go, whoa, that's true. Like,
because her cousin was there when Terry Silver screwed Daniel over the first time and could tell her, like, yeah.
It was just a great... So that then really kind of turned the season around in the sense of, like, where they all kind of got together and rallied around Daniel, who got destroyed by Terry Silver in that one episode.
Right. I really, you know, just as we're talking about this here, I want to go back and rewatch it. I've only watched it once, and usually I've binged it twice before we do our little sit down and talk.
It was really good. Do you have a favorite scene?
Yes, but I need to think about it. I will tell you, I do love the nod. At one point, they're all in a limousine. I say all. Johnny, Daniel, and Chosen. And they've been drinking, they're drunk, they're singing along to Eye of the Tiger. Mm-hmm. But I'm sorry, I don't remember the exact scenario, but Eye of the Tiger from Rocky.
Rocky 3, actually.
Is it Rocky 3? Okay. It was either supposed to be used in Karate Kid or You're the Best from Karate Kid was supposed to be used in Rocky, and I don't remember. There is a connection there between those two songs and those two movies. So I can't help but think that was a throwback to that. There was, oh man. Let me think about it. I want you to talk while I think about this. Yeah. There was a connection. There was something that, oh shoot. Robbie said something that was almost verbatim something from Beverly Hills Cop. What was it now? Dang it, I meant to write this down as I was watching it. That's going to drive me nuts.
It just means we have to watch it again.
Exactly. But I want to talk about it right now. But it was a line. It was like he repeated something from Beverly Hills Cop, but he changed it a little bit to fit the situation. Mm-hmm. And I'm just wondering, because you know Netflix has started filming Beverly Hills Cop 4.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah, it's like in production. They've shown set photos with Judge Reinhold and
Eddie Murphy?
well, not them together, but is it John Ashton? Whoever the actor is that plays Taggart, Sergeant Taggart.
Oh,
it's
gotcha.
the two them together. Yeah. Oh shoot! Now I'm trying to remember, what did Robbie say? And I remember thinking I wanted to bring it up when we sat down here to talk about it. Anyway, there is a what I would call a Beverly Hills Cop reference in one of the lines, in some of the dialogue. But
because my favorite scene was when it was like episode 7 or 8, maybe 9, when Kreese is sitting there and he's with his like counselor, and she kind of starts talking to him, like really going into his heart, and they have like all the different characters throughout Kreese's life basically say her words, and when they got to the part where they have like Johnny as a high schooler, that like kind of like broke me up, and it totally made me think like she's actually getting to him, not realizing that he was just looking past it where he was going to double cross and that was going to be the escape. But that was a powerful moment. My favorite moment, since like the funny part, was when Johnny ends up basically making good and helping out the people who were they were going for the they were battling with Cobra Kai to see who was going to get into the Japanese tournament, and Johnny starts quoting like Rocky 4, and the guy like knows it too, and then at the end Johnny says, you know, if I can change and you can change, we can all change. And the guy's like, yes. I just thought that was so cool. Like
that was funny.
They're fanboying together over Rocky 4. I really liked it.
How did you feel about Miguel's father?
Oh, that was hard.
So Miguel ends up finding his father in Mexico, and they kind of do this like, is he or isn't he really his father? Like he ends up he thinks he finds him first, and it's this sort of drug lord dude at this like, was it a poker game or whatever? And the guy basically tells him, get the F out of here. So he leaves, but then he overhears somebody, Hector, like somebody saying, hey, Hector, will you blah, blah, blah. And the guy's like helping take out the trash or whatever. And he's like, you can tell he's thinking, well, Hector, that's my dad's name. Is that him? And he ends up following the guy. And the guy's kid runs out into the street. Miguel saves him from getting hit by a car, and the guy's grateful and brings him home for dinner. Blah 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 blah. And you think, okay, Miguel's got the wrong guy here because his dad's supposed to be this real like nefarious like drug lord, whatever. We've been led to believe that his dad is a career criminal, but this guy's super upstanding, clean cut, like very much father of the year, right? And he's being nice to Miguel, and like I said, invites him over and says, "Hey, let's go out." And I'm thinking, oh, he's going to get crushed by finding out it's not his father. Nay, he gets crushed by finding out it is his father, and his father, in fact, is a very, very crappy human being and is into some pretty shady stuff. And he ends up just walking away from him without, there's a see you later, take care of yourself, kid, whatever moment. Right. But neither one of them, well, Miguel knows, but that guy never realizes that was his son standing in front of him.
So you think it's safe to say that he was struck by a smooth criminal?
Miguel's father is definitely a smooth criminal, yeah.
The thing about that part is I felt really bad for Miguel, but they did a good job of turning it to the sense of it made him like love his mom, appreciate his mom, and then that 100%. Moment when he realized that like he's bawling in the street. And I'm thinking as I'm watching this, I'm thinking, this guy's going to come out and just absolutely, like, trash his son.
Right.
And you see Johnny show up.
Right.
With,
Robbie.
With Robbie. And just, like, to see that embrace of, like, Johnny and Miguel was just, that was a really cool, like, turning point. I also really appreciated kind of how they did a good job of, because in the movie you figure, or in a TV show like that, I figured, like, they're not going to quickly just have Robbie and Miguel, like, everything's fine. And they did a great job of making that not happen.
Right.
It wasn't until, like, an episode or two later where Daniel came and basically, without knowing it, gave Johnny some advice that Johnny went back to who he was before a little bit and basically made them, like, fight it out. And then that was really cool.
And then it got kind of sketchy because they ended up on the balcony of the apartment building and you kept thinking, oh, man, is Robbie going to get kicked over the edge now? Or
they
is
did
Miguel
a good job making the thing that's going to happen. It's like, oh, no, are we going to go back to into season 1, right? Or into
season 2. When they're,
that was really cool.
Yeah, it was, and I think they finally just got to the point where it was like, "What are we doing?" But, and then, they find out that Miguel's mom is pregnant by Johnny, and they're like not half brothers, but they're going to share this younger sibling, and they kind of like rally around that idea, and they're pretty good for the rest of the season, and even. Robbie, I thought it was funny. This was probably one of my more favorite humorous moments when Johnny's trying to give Miguel some advice, and Robbie walks up and, oh yeah, now you're giving some fatherly advice or whatever, nice fatherly advice, and you think, oh, here we go, and then he's like, nah, just kidding, Dad, it's cool. It's kind of funny.
I thought, who do you think the season was really about?
Oh man, that's a really good question.
I have my thought
Who was
already.
the season about? Like,
or who's like the focal point? In your opinion.
In my opinion, Johnny had a lot of growth, man.
I think you got to get both of these, by the way, guys.
I agree, man. These Chipotle Ranch, Chipotle Ranch chips are freaking amazing. And so are the crispy minis, like the cookies and cream. It's on point. It's definitely on point. Oh, and wash it down with some Sharkleberry Fin and or some pomegranate 7-Up. Well, I think Johnny for sure.
He was a big part. I mean, he was a huge part of it. Here's what I think.
Okay.
I think the focal point and the main story arc was actually Tori.
Oh. Wow. Okay.
Because I think, like, you from the get-go kind of saw her struggle and wrestle. We hear that she's actually, like, because she's so anti-Cobra Kai after what happened in Season 4, that she's trying to work with Kreese. And then she goes and tries to confess, and they immediately, like, misjudge her because of all her past actions, which I would do the same thing and stereotype her. And then she, at the end, kind of comes around and helps them. I just thought, really, she was low-key kind of the main story arc that they worked everything around.
Okay.
That's my own opinion.
I agree with that.
Maybe that's just the story arc that really gripped me the most.
Right.
Because I loved her struggle from episode 1 all the way through episode 10 of, like, I want to do what's right, but it's really hard to get out. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to get out of the hard situation I'm in. Terry Silver is a smooth guy, and everyone else, it's like I'm trying to ride the line between everyone, and just a good.
I did like.
I was impressed with that.
Early on, one of my favorite interactions was Chosen and Terry Silver. Now I'm trying to say Terry Crews.
I know that's my own fault.
But I liked how Terry Silver's trying to hire new senseis for his dojos because he's expanding Cobra Kai. Which, by the way, the technology and just the flash with Cobra Kai now is pretty over the top.
Their new dojo, was ridiculous.
But Chosen,
the mothership dojo.
The mothership dojo, yeah. Daniel and Chosen's plan originally is to get Chosen hired as a sensei, and then he can infiltrate Cobra Kai and find out what the plan is. And Terry Silver, dude, you got me.
Right, he has him
got
over.
me so
he has
messed
him over
up.
For a drink.
He has him over and is like, I want you to be my lead sensei or whatever, and blah blah blah. And they toast, and Chosen says something in Japanese. Don't think anything of it.
Right.
But then later on, they're having another interaction, and Terry Silver says, "Okay,
he knew
Chosen," and it was like, "Whoa, how did he know?"
Yeah.
But it's because he's like, whatever this whiskey was from someplace in Japan, he's like, all my friends from
this area
say blah blah blah,
right?
And you said
this,
da da da,
which means you're from Okinawa,
right?
That was so
right.
cool.
And it was like,
cool.
Man, he nailed him.
That was cool.
And
that was cool.
Yeah, that was really cool. And I don't know. I think Terry Silver walks this line of like, would you have not just murdered somebody right there? Like, I feel like you're rich enough and you think you're a badass enough that why didn't you just get rid of him right at that point? Or maybe it's because he has fun with like these little battles. And
I think he does kind of see it like as a game.
Right. So he doesn't want to end it right away.
But he is like so far, he's like the worst villain. Like him purchasing the bonsai trees for the exorbitant amount of money, just to kind of rub it in Daniel's faces, because Daniel like donates these bonsai trees from this auction. That was just like dirty.
Yeah, no, for
just
sure.
Like cold blooded.
Yeah, Terry Silver's such a scumbag.
He was like just a really, and you're like, dude, like why are you doing this? Like you have so much money, it just doesn't matter.
Right.
But
it's just because he can.
It is.
It is. And then just to wrap it up, the ultimate spoiler. Kreese gets shanked in prison.
Dude, that was nuts.
And we're led to believe he's dead, and I'm like, they wouldn't kill him off, or would they?
Right.
And then the last sequence in season 5, they're wheeling him in, and they're about to do the autopsy or whatever.
That was totally the appropriate amount of cheese, by the way.
Right. No, yeah, they took it right to the edge where the doctor like looks at the blood on him, and he's staring at it, and then he goes, "It's jelly." And about that time, Kreese sits up and just goes straight up zombie Frankenstein on everybody in the room, and puts the doctor's uniform on and just freaking walks out.
Like Kaiser Soze.
Yep. That's right.
Seriously.
That's right. So good.
And then it ends that way. Because I wasn't paying attention at the time on it, I was like, oh, maybe there's like they're going to show something else, and that just ended it. It's like, boom.
No, it was
season
perfect.
done.
It was perfect.
Whoa.
It was perfect. So now that like Cobra Kai is out of the picture, it's really not out of the picture because Kreese is still alive.
Right.
Silver's behind bars, and now Kreese is out. So, and see, I think Kreese has enough street cred with the kids that he could still say, "No, hey, wait a minute, this is the way of the fist. Like, come on back. Like, this is not what I wanted." But if he's a wanted man, and see now, here's the thing: he breaks out of prison, but he was wrongfully imprisoned, though.
He was.
It's revealed that he was set up by Terry Silver and Stingray. Mm-hmm. So is he? How does that even work? Like, if you're wrongfully imprisoned and it's proved, but you like excuse yourself before you've actually been given that, Dude,
think about how cool would it be if there was a season where because of that he had to serve a few months and he's like somehow in the same with Terry Silver.
Oh, that's awesome.
That'd be amazing. And I gotta tell you, I'm kind of fearful because Kreese had this pull in the prison. Imagine what kind of pull Terry Silver has just by his connections.
Maybe, yeah.
You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, you just wonder, like, what... Because he's going to be around.
Oh, for sure. Terry Silver's not going anywhere because he's still an amazing character. Like, you can't get rid of him. You can't.
Right.
But...
I
don't know. So, okay, let me ask you this, though. Is this too much cheese and too much tying everybody together if one of Terry Silver's like foreign contacts ends up being Miguel's father in Mexico? Is that too much?
I feel like that would jump a shark for me.
It would a little bit,
but I could see it happening. The thing I was trying to think through is that I was trying to think through next year or the next season. I'd love to know your thoughts. Is I'm scared that Kreese is going to get one of the people who's been like restored or redeemed, if you will, to come back on his side. Like, will Robbie go rogue again?
Oh, okay.
Will he get? You know what I mean? Like, who's he going to get? Or here's what really scares me as far as it goes is in the season you could tell. Remember that even though he was somewhat faking it to get his counselor's attention, to get her card and all that stuff, I think the part when you have Johnny, when they're meeting with him, like, and Daniel meeting with him to get the information from him, when Johnny basically says, like, you're a jerk, I want you out of my life, you were, like, the worst father figure to me, like, you could tell, like, Kreese legitimately, like, sees him as a son.
Oh.
I'm super scared that he's going to get Johnny to be back with him, and that really bothers me. Because Johnny's now kind of... So I'm concerned that they're going to try to do that to where he's going to pull the son thing, and Johnny's going to kind of be pulled away by that.
I don't think so.
I hope you're right.
Johnny's got a kid on the way, man. He's not going back.
I hope you're right, dude. That just... That's going to be a... Because you could tell that really, like... At least the way the show made it, that probably bothered Kreese the most.
Oh, no, I agree with that.
And so that makes me wonder, like, are they going to try to... Somebody's going to come good that's going to go back to Cobra Kai.
Okay.
That's my guess. Will it be Hawk? Will it be... I don't think it'll be Tori. I don't think it'll be Tori.
No.
Will it be Robbie again? Like that. So that kind of scares me.
I could see it being...
What if it was Sam?
Nah.
That would be crazy.
Maybe, no.
I don't think so. No way.
What, Oh, shoot. Now I'm blanking on the name. The kid that... the younger kid that was in part of Cobra Kai that Robbie was, like, mentoring, and then...
Yeah, totally.
I could see him going with Kreese. I could even see Daniel's son ending up with Kreese. Possibly. Because he's got a little bit of a chip on his shoulder that, like, he could go rogue, you know?
Right, and he wants to
because he's still
move his training up so we can start to punish fools instead of take the patients like Miyagi-Do.
Yep, because he even bragged about, you know, paying somebody to sand the floors or wax the cars or whatever it was, and skip past some of that.
So my next question is, do you think
I should have bought 2 of these cans?
No. I think it'd be bad for them if they didn't do this. But they have to, even if Cobra Kai is like disqualified or something, they have to show us next season them qualifying for
the world tour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah.
I mean, that would be like bad.
Right.
That'd be bad story to just drop that story.
No, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's got to be...
I agree. Chosen also has he reveals to Daniel that, hey, I still love Kamiko and always have. And then he gives her the drunken phone call, which we don't see Kamiko yet, but...
If the team's going to Japan, that's going to play a factor.
Oh, I didn't even think of that. The tournament.
The tournaments will be in Japan. Kamiko's got to... Maybe that's where Terry Silver's boys will try to... His contacts in...
What is there any characters from the original Karate Kid movies that you have not seen yet that you would expect to show up?
Wow.
Because we got Mike Barnes. I want to see more Mike Barnes in the next season.
I think he might.
Yeah.
He was hilarious.
He was great. He was a great addition to the cast. I'm gonna throw this out there. Only because this person, and I'm saying this person for like dramatic effect because I don't want to give it away yet, also trained under Mr. Miyagi.
Oh wow.
Hilary Swank.
Oh, that'd be a big one if they
from the next Karate Kid, because
that's a great point.
Kind of 90s cheese as the next Karate Kid was. It's still in universe with the original Karate Kid movies.
More than Jackie Chan and James Smith.
Absolutely, man. So I would...
That'd be crazy, dude.
And would Hilary Swank do it?
I feel like that'd have to be a massive pay, but Cobra Kai is big.
It is. And Hilary Swank's not doing anything right now, so...
I mean, not a ton. I would say the one part that's been hard about this is as more seasons go by, I really miss Pat Morita.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and I don't feel like, okay, that's one thing that was lacking
really
from this
miss
season.
Mr. Miyagi. I just miss, him. He would have been...
Right. His presence, I think, more than any other season was lacking in this one.
Yeah, I agree.
I didn't
but I think
feel-
Chosen kind of took the place of that, don't you think?
Okay, I can see that. But it was still, and maybe we don't need to dwell on Mr. Miyagi all the time anyway.
No, I agree.
But I think...
But he did play a big role. Like, that was really touching at the end when Amanda brings him into, like, the room that basically looked like it hadn't left, and she said, before I married you, I visited Mr. Miyagi, and we had tea and sake, and remember he told me about you, that you can get kind of fiery about stuff, but when you believe in something, you'll go all the way, and I'm for you. Like, that was a pretty powerful part.
Sure.
But you're right.
Yeah.
That was kind of the only main part about Mr. Miyagi, but that part was, like, very...
Right.
She was basically saying, like, he gave me some great advice that pushed me over the top of, like, okay, Daniel's, like, the guy, like, I'm in
Yeah,
with.
yeah, for sure.
But, yeah, they didn't... It wasn't quite the same. I really liked it, and it makes me now think, like, all the possibilities for season 6 of what they're going to try to do.
For sure. I wouldn't mind Allie with an eye coming back. I mean, who doesn't want more Elizabeth Shue in their life? Like,
oh, yeah, I can see that.
I don't know what role she would play, because it's sort of... Although I do feel like they sort of wrapped up her character with Johnny.
They did.
So it's not... I don't think it's necessary to bring her back. I just want to see her again.
Do you think that Johnny and Carmen get married?
Wow.
I feel like that would be a classic... That would be like a typical, like, cookie cutter series ending show.
That's the wedding.
Yeah,
the
you know what I
wedding is
mean?
the maybe, but you know what? Like, it's funny of all, and maybe it's just because society's sort of moved past this a little bit. That wasn't even mentioned when she said she was pregnant. You know, how a lot of people are like, "Oh, we need to get married," and I think as old school, because Johnny's old school, like he's stranded in the past a little bit. You would have thought when he was making this effort to evolve and turn into a great father, he would have said, hey, well, we need to get married.
Right.
I feel like that was a missed, like...
Sure. That's why part of me wonders that as the time goes on, he's going to be like, no, like, I really want to commit to you. Like, I really, like...
Yeah.
I'm all in.
Right.
I just wonder. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll find out.
I wonder. It'll be a...
I could keep talking about this for a long time.
Part of me wishes they would have, like, at least just one episode that's, like, just totally, like, fun. But you know it's literally going to be 10 minutes into this first episode of season 6.
Yeah.
Some ridiculous is going to happen.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Kreese is going to come in and, like, I don't know, like, destroy something or someone or...
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm anxious for season 6 now. And speaking of which, I'm wondering if, because we got it, it feels so out of place to have season 5, like, in September. So...
I got, like, a
isn't that weird?
Yeah.
So
like,
it's...
I was not expecting it.
December, so it's 4 months early. So if we go 4 months from now, August, July, June, May, that's back where. So I wonder if they went 4 months early this time, so they can go 4 months early again and get back on that summer May, end of May release schedule. Because I feel like this is a summer thing. It's just like when they released Ghostbusters Afterlife in November.
Wasn't right.
It was like, this feels like this is a summer thing. I still feel that way about Cobra Kai.
I agree with you on that.
Cobra Kai feels more like a New Year's thing, like we've done the last couple of years, than it does a September, like, what? That
it was a unique date. It made me forget.
Yeah.
I thought it was coming out around Christmas because the first few seasons did, right?
Well, the first the first 2 seasons were May. Right?
That's right.
On YouTube, and then when
Season 3
Netflix
came out,
bought it, 3 and 4 came out New Year's Eve.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. All right.
We talked a lot.
I don't know if we said anything, but we talked a lot.
We did.
All right. Is that it?
That's it.
Okay. I love the Cobra Kai trip down Nostalgia Lane, man. It's the best.
I agree.
You're the best.
Around?
That's right.
Oh.
Nothing's ever going to keep you down.
I agree.
And until next time, don't stop chasing your nostalgia.
If I can change, you can change. We can all change.
You filthy animals.
See ya.
Awesome.
You know, sir, it's cousin Ryan on the Hollywood Boulevard. You know, sir, he bigger than any superstar. All of us spit you some real dope bar. Some them sweeter than any chocolate bar. Boom!
Hey.